Okay, now we're going to talk about our motor tracts. I'm going to start with the sort of primary motor tract for conveying voluntary motor commands, ultimately out to the muscles to get yourself to move. This is called the corticospinal tract, right? So it originates in the cortex. And you should know, because we're talking about motor, right, motor function, it's got to originate in the frontal lobe. And the specific area of the frontal lobe that is the source of this particular motor output for this tract is the precentral gyrus of the frontal lobe. So again, if we're looking at our cerebrum here, right, and we've got our central sulcus, right, which is located right along here with our parietal lobe back here. Well, here's the frontal lobe, right, and the first gyrus that you see just before the central sulcus is what we call the precentral gyrus, or primary motor cortex. And again, there's a homuncular organization, right? A little person organization there with a great big representation of the face and of the hands and of the larynx, pharynx, etc., and then smaller representations of many other areas. Because the more actually cortical area that's devoted to a particular region, the more fine sort of motor control you have over that particular region. And this particular system, the corticospinal tract, actually originates from very specialized looking kind of neurons that are found in the precentral gyrus. They're actually called pyramidal neurons. We'll encounter them a little bit later too. They have cell bodies that are kind of shaped like three-dimensional pyramids, and they're pretty decent sized cells, because if you think about it, they are arrayed along this homuncular mapped organization of your body in the precentral gyrus, and they extend their axons down. There's a huge kind of set of descending axons that are located subcortically here that's referred to as the internal capsule, and it passes down into the brain stem. At the level of the brain stem, there's what we call a decussation, right? Decussation means crossing over from one side to the other, because again, the left side of your brain, right, controls the right side of your body in terms of movement, and the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. But look, this is the same neuron, the axon, extending all the way down, decussating at the level of the medulla of the brainstem, and then continuing down till it reaches a motor neuron located in the spinal cord. And you should know where that motor neuron is located, right? It's in the gray matter of the cord, the part of the gray matter that cares about motor output, where you find the cell bodies of neurons whose axons are going to form the ventral roots of those spinal nerves. Well, that's going to be the ventral horns of the spinal cord. So these can be extremely long neurons, basically. They descend from primary motor cortex to motor neurons in the ventral horns of the spinal cord. There are no intervening nuclei, and they transmit most of the fine voluntary motor commands, from your brain to muscle.